I wrote an article.
Sweet.
It's good.
All right, and who are you?
I am Chelsea Laws. My Instagram handle is Radhageet, Radhageet, and you can find my muses and ramblings there. There's not many. I'm new to the social media, and I'm from Oregon. I'm in Tennessee. My bestie just moved out here, and freedom.
Fucking A.
Freedom.
I was the guy last night during the show that was like, the moment was right. Freedom!
Yes, I loved that, dude. I know, I loved that because that was in my ending lyrics too. Like, I dream of freedom, I dream of love, and then we ended and I just hear freedom, and then I yelled it, and then everyone's fucking yelling it, and I didn't know who started that shit.
That was me.
Oh my god, thank you for that, dude. Yeah, oh my god, thank you for that. Was just so fucking epic. I cannot.
Ending.
It was the best ending to a show, especially at this festival. It's just everyone freedom.
I try to be of service however I can.
Oh, dude, tremendous,
well,
dude.
You helped me today. I helped you a little yesterday.
That's right.
Having somebody. Well, and it's nice to have friendly faces to look out to while you're talking. You know.
Yeah, you get beat up by your friends is easier.
Yeah. Well, cool. You know, I'm gonna go home and download your music for sure. Are you selling it like all the traditional ways? How do you prefer people get it? I guess.
So, if people do prefer streaming platforms, I am on all of them at Tesstamona. So some people misspell it. Tesstam as in Molly, O, N as in Nancy, A. But if you want to actually buy it and support it, what I would suggest is going to Bandcamp. So you can do that of two ways. You can go tesstamona.bandcamp.com, or you can go to my Instagram, which is at Tesstamona. There's a hyperlink there, and it has literally all of my links to everything I do, including Bandcamp. So if you just don't want to type shit and just want to push a button with your thumb twice, do that. Otherwise, just go to Bandcamp and look up Tesstamona. I'm the only one on there.
Sweet.
So, yeah.
So one final question. I think this event is unique because it's largely female driven, with Nicole kind of running point. And I went to Childerberg. Have you heard of Childerberg?
I have not.
It's in the same vein, I think, as Squatch Fest, right? Pretty open-ended, very free and agoristic.
Camping. Focus.
Not a whole lot of planned programming necessarily, more just open-ended, organic dialogue. But I don't know about Squatch Fest. Childerberg was a sausage fest to the max.
Oh,
right?
wow, okay.
And so, I think it tends to be. So this is cool because it's so much more there's partners, there's, couples, there's women in charge of stuff, man. It's badass.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
So it feels more balanced in that way. I'm hoping we can continue to attract more women to this selfishly because I'm still single.
Yeah.
Selfishly, if women that were
Give it a thumbs up and I'll send you better stuff.
Okay, that sounds good.
yeah.
Drive safe, my friends.
See the love.
That's awesome.
I
He does
love
music
that.
too, huh?
No, he's just a fucking connoisseur of dope shit.
Cool.
So whether it's dank memes or good music, yeah, and he loves to share.
Sweet.
Yeah, so I met him at a swaling workshop here. Those swales that are now fully functional and shit, we were digging them a few months ago, and it was nothing but dirt and sawdust. So it's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool, and all the seeds seem to take that cow pee and everything.
Yeah, it was wild, man. It really was. So
rock and roll. Well, ladies,
Cow pee is now illegal in Canada.
what?
are you shitting?
I am not shitting you.
I don't know. I don't read the rules.
Yeah, of course Brian fucking doesn't.
Well, you don't live in
Cow
Canada,
pee
do you?
is illegal in Canada, and they have constructed facilities, interrogation facilities, because there is a global war on nitrogen, oxygen, and carbon. You are the carbon.
Yeah.
Nitrogen is cow pee. And they have built these facilities to interrogate Canadian farmers into confessing to climate crimes.
Oh my god.
Oh.
There is a
Do they claim it's an invasive or some bullshit, or what's the justification for making that plant illegal? they have to justify it some way. But then again, it is Canada. They're fucking
It's fucking Canada. Yeah.
It's a
That's
a
next
We gotta name
climate
a plant.
exactly. It's a climate crime to fertilize. So basically, you can't even have cows on your property
So no
anymore.
nitrogen affixing plants.
Correct. This is absolutely correct, and I'm gonna. Oh gosh, it should be right here. This link that I want to show you, or that I'll tell you. It's a Brighteon. They did a short 17-minute documentary.
That's what I get a letter from. I'm a licensed nursery, so I get an updated list like once a quarter of all
what's banned.
I guess I've never opened it.
Wow, fuckers, man.
Yeah, you should definitely be privy to this
But
because
yeah,
it
they're
is a
allowed to come check
global
your property
war
for the-
on nitrogen, oxygen, and carbon. What are those? 7th grade science class?
NPK.
They are the basic elements of life.
Right.
And there is a global war.
Well, they're waging a war on life. They're waging a war on men
Correct.
and women.
100% nuclear
You know.
family.
That's why I'm like,
Yep.
I'm not trying to be Mr. like woke by doing the women of SRF. It's more like we got to recognize women as women
Yes.
and what they have to offer, right? We were talking last
Hey,
night.
women of SRF. That's
we
the Agorist
take-
attornay. I just got her. She's coming over.
Hey, rock on.
Yeah.
She's gonna tell
Fuck
you what
yeah,
she's up
dude.
to. Yeah,
That's
it's a
perfect.
perfect segue.
Hey, you want to be on a quick podcast here?
Yeah.
Women of SRF,
We're doing
dude.
the women of SRF.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
No, I'm also just filming, so don't mind me.
It's all good.
So you're an Agorist attorney,
I am.
and that's allowed?
Yeah. So you know what's really
Turns
funny is so I was the first one to go to law school in my family. Like I wanted to be an entertainment lawyer. My dad's a musician, and I saw these musicians getting screwed over, right? So I was like, I'm gonna go to law school. I'm gonna be a music lawyer, and I did. And I went to Loyola. It was awesome. Had a really good time. Graduated. Napster happened. So there were no jobs because all the record labels had no money because of all the digital downloads being free now, ish. There's problems with that. So I was like, oh shit, I have all these student loans. What do I do? So I went on these interviews, and I interviewed at a construction law firm. And I have a construction law background. My family has a construction business, and that's what I grew up doing. And they were like, oh, you can read blueprints? Cool, you're hired. So I liked the work. I liked protecting like small businesses, family contractors that were getting sued just for fun. Loved the work. Hated the other lawyers.
Yeah.
Hated it. Hated the life. I just don't play well with other lawyers. Like I swear I need to make that a shirt for myself.
Hey, you've already sold me.
I know.
You're the good one, yeah.
Does not play well with other lawyers, which is totally true. So I struggled like litigating for like 10 years, and then I went in-house, and now I work for an architecture firm, and it's just awesome. Like I don't bill hours. I just do whatever they need me to do. I fix their contract. If they get sued, I go manage the litigation. I take care of their intellectual property.
Sure.
So the agorism part came in 2009 when I found Jack, Jack Speargrowth Survival Podcast, and I'd gotten laid off for the recession because I was a baby construction lawyer, and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. So it started off just really helping people in like construction and entertainment for free to get their contracts right. And then as it became, I had kind of the same evolution as Jack did, like from like libertarian to like minarchist to like
Full-blown
to
anarchist.
fuck it, I'm an anarchist,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
like
yeah.
okay, yeah, I'm an anarchist. So I mean, I say agorist now because anarchist freaks people out.
I mean, to
right?
me, like
It's-
anarchism's the philosophy, agorism's the action.
totally agree.
You know?
Yeah,
Yes.
But
you're right, anarchy
to like
freaks people out.
people who aren't
Right.
in it, I say agorist, and then they have to Google that, and they don't get a weird like black bloc anarchy page, right? So they don't.
Right.
So once I got into that, I thought, how could I use my powers for good? So there's a trick that we use in the law, which is, it's not really a trick, but like to stay out of court, you just use an arbitration provision or you use a mediation provision. I think those are really overlooked because a lot of people are scared of them. But what happens is if you do it right, if you have, all human interactions should be voluntary, right? So if you're doing a deal with a coffee guy or a tomato guy or whatever, you should have a contract or at least something, chicken scratch, it says I'm giving you this many tomatoes for this much Bitcoin, whatever it is. And if there's a problem, you could still get sued, even if you're totally in the agorist space, even if you're totally in the anarchist space. It doesn't matter. Anybody can sue anybody for anything. It's stupid, and then you have to defend it. If you get a contract with them that actually has a really good mediation or arbitration provision, then if they sue you, the judge says, get out. You agreed to arbitrate this, get out.
Yeah, what are you doing in my court?
Get out of my courtroom.
Yeah, go deal with it the way you said you would.
You're wasting my time.
Right.
And you can pre-choose your arbitrators. Like,
Sure.
if you're like a coffee guy and you want to pre-choose your arbitrators, you could do like, okay, so my panelists are going to be Brian Norton, Nicole Sauce, and whatever other coffee people you want to have.
I'm currently an arbitrator on a board.
See, exactly.
Really?
So you can choose whoever you
On
want.
a panel.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna have to get a better programmer than me to do this. But we've talked about integrating smart contracts, where if you have a dispute, you escrow the amount. Depending on what the panel says, it automatically pays out, or it automatically goes back to you.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of really
That way.
cool things. Like I'm competent to use the tech. I'm not competent to create the tech.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
So, but lots of cool things. And so I've got agoristattorney.com right now that I'm working on. I'm working on like my first podcast this weekend.
Hell
Sweet,
yeah,
sweet.
dude.
I'm like super tired because I was out
Yes.
here for a construction law conference, and so I'm like I've been out here since Monday, so it may not happen this weekend, but like as soon I set up Anchor, I set up StreamYard, I set up YouTube, I waited my 24 hours, so you'll be seeing that. You'll be seeing
gonna
that
be the
pretty
Agorist
quick.
Attorney Podcast?
It is literally the agoristattorney.com, and the podcast is the Agorist Attorney Podcast. Yeah,
Fuck
on
yeah.
YouTube and Anchor, and then I'll get it on Fountain as soon as I have enough episodes.
Well, you're officially on episode 100
Woo!
of the Easy Peasy Podcast.
Love it.
The Easy Peasy Podcast.
Thanks for having me on. This is
Hey,
awesome.
No doubt,
Yeah.
no doubt. I hadn't even heard about you until
Yeah.
just now. So.
Well, it's been brewing, and honestly, it was like Jack's idea. He was like, "What?" He's like, "You should have a panel of lawyers that like just argue. People submit stuff, and you just argue about it." And then it kind of came into like, "Well, what if we had an arbitration panel? What if we put it up?" So that's what we're going to start working on. The arbitrators are going to get paid somehow. It's not going to be, it's very much value for value, like in the spirit of agorism. We're not going to have people just volunteering. It's going to be like, you want to be on a panel, you're going to get something. So
Y'all need to come to Childerberg.
I know it.
We need more ladies down there. It's
I know
Sausage
it.
Fest. That's what I was just telling them.
When's
but
Childerberg?
Yeah, so
When's the next one?
when and where is
it's
this?
down in Texas. They might move to a private property, but it's been at Muleshoe Recreation area, kind of between Waco and Austin.
Okay.
It's full-blown agorism. That's kind of the whole point.
Love it.
No fees for vendors. Just set up and sell.
Ooh, I could sell my knives.
There was
Yeah.
some cool
Yeah.
vendors selling, all kinds of things. If you catch my drift.
Love it.
Yeah, no, it
Yeah.
was a great time. Just like I said, open-ended, like all day long, really cool conversations. And a few of those fellows could probably use a good lawyer.
Yeah, totally.
Oh Lord,
So,
could we
so
all
the,
could.
the mandatory disclaimer, I'm only licensed in California.
I see.
I can do your arbitration does not require a license.
I see.
So I can do that anywhere. But if you happen to have a business in California, then I can definitely help you.
You can
I
actually-
just don't feel like taking 49 more bar exams. So
Heard.
Yeah.
I just am trying to not do that. But there's a lot of stuff I can do that's not like technically legal advice, or it's in the arbitration space. It doesn't require me to have a license. So
Cool.
Excellent.
all this arbitration stuff is like so well published. Like the system has given you the tools.
Yeah.
Use the tools against the system. You
Against
guys
it,
are
right.
musicians at all?
Yes, I
okay.
am.
So the rule in music is you got to learn all the rules first, and then you break them.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's the same.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well,
And she's
I'm a
fucking,
really
she's
good-
right about that. Yeah.
I'm a
I
really
was-
good rule breaker.
I always love
Yeah.
the Bob Dylan line about if a rule is bent, or if a rule is broken, it can be bent.
That's right.
Yes.
Which I think is a fun twist of words.
Yeah, I
but-
love it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Well, right on. So I'm stoked to listen to your
Yeah.
podcast because I bet you that by itself is going to be useful information, right?
Hopefully.
Even
Yeah,
if
that's
it's
the
not
goal.
directly, pertinent to one specific issue, you're going to be talking about.
Yeah, general stuff.
Cool.
I'm probably gonna have people submit. What about this?
This situation.
hypothetical
You're
situation?
right.
Yeah.
Right.
mhm.
Right. Cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, appreciate it, y'all.
You bet.
Okay,
Excellent.
well, let's segue back into that Brighteon link about cowpea.
See you guys.
Ha.
Bye.
Good to
Nice.
meet
Good to
you.
meet you, Patricia.
So the globalist war on the elements of life, it's Brighteon, BRIGHTEON.com, and the 17-minute documentary is called The Globalist War on the Elements of Life. Please, this content is free. Share and repost everywhere. It is absolutely hideous the war against being alive.
You're
You
illegal
are-
by default. Just
You
for
are
existing.
illegal by existing. You are the carbon they are trying
To eliminate. Yep.
You. If you know anything about the 2030 agenda, for that to even get anywhere close, that means 50 billion people have to die. Do we have that many? We don't. You get my fucking drift. That means millions of people, humans on this planet, have to die. That's what that means. Do some research with just that piece of information. It's incredible. That is why I'm an agorist. I'm a woman. We take and we give life.
Yeah.
And we would never, as a woman, as a mother, we would never send our children to war. We would never send another woman's children to war. That is not why we are here. This is someone else's agenda. This is not my idea of how I want to live my life. I don't need rules and laws on my body. I'm not going to harm anybody. Why do I need to live under this structure that is clearly anti-life?
It is. It's 100%. And one thing, if anybody has not ever read this, and it is a highly disturbing but insanely informative read that I highly suggest.
disturbing.
Yeah, is Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars. If you've read Behold a Pale Horse, you've probably read snippets of it, but I would suggest the entire document. It was what they used at the very first Bilderberg meeting in 1954, and it describes what the original motive was behind developing the first computer, which was to be able to predict in the future, like based on being able to program human behavior through what they refer to as shock testing, when we would arrive at the year or point of human capitulation. And I had to Google that definition. I didn't know what it meant. It means submission or defeat.
Right.
So when can we calculate? And they were doing this back in the 1950s. So they were already like, so when can we predict when humans can be completely defeated, like castrated on every sense of the level, and just turned into what some often already refer to us non-secret society folk as useless eaters or cattle, or, you know, shove them in a pot and give them an Oculus and some cricket powder and just fucking let them rot. Unless
Put
they're
them in the Matrix. Right?
Yeah, exactly. And that document, that manuscript, breaks down the Matrix and how it works and why it works and how they figured out that formula to such a degree that you will not look at the world you live in the same way ever again. Ever. But but do it though, because it's better to know than not know, because then you can dodge pitfalls that you wouldn't have even recognized as pitfalls or opposition or attacks against you. And that actually will help save your ass, because you can separate yourself from that and be like, no, that actually isn't real. That's the Matrix trying to do this. So it is to the good. You just got to, sacrifice a little bit of discomfort. But, what in life worth having doesn't come with the price of a little fucking discomfort.
Yep.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what I was talking about. Up on stage.
100%, dude. Yeah, to maximize your flow state, you better fucking do more shit to get more skills, and you're gonna have to go through some anxiety
It's gonna
first.
be a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Right.
comfort zones are so fucking lethal. Like you said, the stagnant water is death. It's we decay when we are not moving, and it's like, ideally we all want to be moving forward, right? Like, I've never seen water just like turn in reverse. Like, I don't see waterfalls going up. No. So yeah,
if it's convenient, you should turn the other way and run. You should go find some fucking work to do that's
Something
not convenient.
inconvenient.
Mm-hmm.
If
It's not convenient. It's not
a
convenient
fucking
to come
trap.
here. A lot of us came from very far away.
Oh hell
But
yeah.
it's worth fucking doing.
And where did you come from? Where do you live at?
Indiana, so not terribly far away.
Okay.
About 5.5 hours.
So Indiana for you,
Yeah.
Oregon for you, miss. And then for me, hey, Oregon for me, I mean, I live in fucking just south of Nashville, so it's like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
But
Lucky duck.
I know, but I am from Oregon though. When I moved out here a few months ago, I just packed up my Honda, which she helped me do. She helped me play Tetris with my Honda and pack up all my belongings, and everything else I got rid of. I didn't have much anyway.
Got the hell out of
And
California.
I
right?
just, actually, I was back. I got out of fucking LA for sure. And then I was back up in Oregon. And then I just loaded the Honda, drove across the country in 5 days by myself, landed here, and have just been building a fucking life ever since. And the day before I left, I was going through some really dark shit. And I said out loud, and I was like, what if what I'm about to experience is gonna be so good that it is beyond anything I can possibly imagine, because I've never experienced it so good. Because I noticed that my mind always had this pattern of projecting fear into the future based on past experiences and past patterns. And I was like, whoa.
Creating anxiety.
What if it's gonna be so good I can't even fucking visualize it, because I've never even experienced it? And that's 100% what's happened. And I just kept saying that like a mantra. That is just what has happened, dead ass. So, I mean, if someone wants to try that for themselves, I bet it'll work. Because if it worked for me, why wouldn't it work for anybody else? You know, it's not like I'm like a fucking Merlin. You know what I mean? Like, I'm an energetic being with a voice that speaks into the ether and it responds.
You're a light warrior. Is what you are. There's some bad bitches here, y'all. I love it. I tell you, I wrote something in my novel. I'll probably wrap it up here in a second, but I wrote a line in my novel where, you know, it's a scene that took place in my life. I'm at the bar and I am vibing so hard with like everybody that I'm sitting by, and I go outside to smoke a cigarette, and I'm wearing my hat, and you know, somebody says, "What's happening, cowboy?" or "Howdy there," or whatever, you know, like, and I'm like, I'm the only cowboy around. And so I get chatting with them, and they start saying, like, they get a vibe off of me. I think one of them asked, like, "What are you about?" I said, "Freedom." He said, "What are you, some kind of libertarian?" I said, "Well, once, but I didn't like how it felt." I call myself an anarchist, and they're like,
But
"Oh."
then I did some research.
One of them goes, I bet you're carrying, right?" I said, "Yeah." And then another one says, "I bet you ain't even vaccinated, are you?" I said, "No." They said, "Well, you can't talk about protection then, because you're not willing to protect others." And I was pretty much the moment I turned around and said, "Have a nice day," and went back inside. And I'm just like, I wrote this out in the book. I said something about, you know, they envied him for being in the now while they lived in the past and the future.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. No presence.
So,
Yeah.
buy the book.
yeah,
Hey
I'm
Duke
gonna.
2029. Yeah.
Hey Duke 2029.
And I'll even send a signed copy to anybody that wants one. Basically asking for $40 for a signed copy, 20 for a non-signed. I was this close to having them here with me.
That's okay.
They're
That's totally okay.
They're coming in next week. So
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
But it's a fun read. If you ever read any Edward Abbey, it's kind of a similar style, adventure and
Yeah.
sex and drugs and rock and roll and shit.
Hell
you know?
yeah, that's
Yeah.
I
kind of
fucking
story
love
right
it.
there.
I absolutely fucking love it.
Yeah.
Glorious.
Well, I appreciate it, y'all. Really.
Yeah, I appreciate you. I appreciate you so much from last night, so much from this morning, and so much for asking to interview the women here. That's just so fucking amazing. And then also now we have some fucking video to it too. So
Love it.
awesome, fucking amazing.
I'm gonna go see who else I can find. I want to get
Do it.
Rebecca, you know, John Bush's wife, and
Yep.
got to get Nicole on.
Oh,
gotta
absolutely,
get Nicole.
absolutely. Oh,
Yeah.
dude, and you should get John Willis's wife, Amanda.
Amanda,
She is
yep.
badass.
Yep.
Oh my! And then if you can, Michelle Bond,
Yes.
Billy Bond's wife.
Yes.
My
Yes.
God, she is an angel.
Yep.
So yeah, she is.
Complete angel.
Yeah.
The
Both of those
deadline's
people.
coming quick. I didn't record a single damn thing the last 2 days. I waited till today, but I gotta
love
make
it.
it happen now. That's
Yeah.
the thing. Got to
There you
work with
go.
the deadline.
Yeah,
so.
there you go, because you got a podcast to run. So, okay, bye, you guys.